before I'd be back with another one. Shouts out my man Jason Famous. Yo. Check, check. Nick Dillinger. I told you before.
We come back with more. Back with more. We come back.
Check, check. Yo. Searching through these records, trying to thief these waves. Use another man's story just to write my page. We all come together like collage on the wall. United we stand, it ain't so cool when we fall. Arguing in streets, beefing over several bucks. Since my old earth died, I find it hard to give a fuck. They used to run pockets, now they running from their conscience. I tried to tell the man upstairs, yo, I got this, but I ain't got nothing. We all broke, even if you rich these days, it ain't no joke. Just wanna be the escape Rakim used to give me. Or back when I was 12 on the bus bumping 50. 21 questions all about how to live. I don't pay attention what the new shit is. What's the 411? I'm confused as you, trying to find utopia, but I think it ain't true. I told you before. I tried to tell the man upstairs, yo, I got this. I told you before. These days it ain't about much more than the status. Status updates, moods flip, acrobatics. What do? I can't explain it through emoji. If you know me, you know me. I heard my testimony. Every day a new chapter, whole encyclopedia. Older by the minute, steady working on just freeing ya. Freeing up space, hard drives getting full. Forget important shit, cause I'm running like the bull. Grab the horns. Tame it while I ride it. Sometimes I get nauseous trying to put up the bravado. Ripping the facade, glitch in the matrix. Then I got high off a hot ass playlist. Feeling like Fresh Prince again. Trying to look fresh but we wilt in the end. Brown old lettuce in the fridge, forgotten. Holes in my Vans while I'm Jeremiah trotting. I told you before. I tried to tell the man upstairs, yo, I got this. I told you before. I told you before. I tried to tell the man upstairs, yo, I got this. I told you before. I tried to tell the man upstairs, yo, I got this. I tried to tell the man upstairs, yo, I got this. I told you before. I tried to tell the man upstairs, yo, I got this. I told you before. Man upstairs. Got this. I told you before. Sunday morning, steady coming down. I slept through my alarm, feels like I hit the ground. What's the deal? What's good? What's happening? Who's around? Cracked my rose-colored glasses, don't you hate that shatter sound? Get lifted, my mission to do something explicit. Should probably go to church for the thoughts that I exhibit. You with it? Just listen, just need to take a stroll of the breeze on my face when the weather gets cold. Sunday strolling, sunrise got my ass on the bed. My brother's calling, let's get together and try harmony. Sunday strolling, hot cup of Joe, eggs aside of ham. The waitress calling, knows my order like the back of her hand. Wearing out my shoes, forget about my blues. Hot omelet, extra cheese, double cup, orange juice. No excuse, need to move. Head knocking to this groove. I refuse to stay put. Look forward, Sunday cruise. Not a dollar in my pocket, got some stress on my mind. Doesn't matter anyhow, I make it work all the time. Punch the clock, then I hop in the truck and we go. You know it just flows, wicked and slow. Sunday strolling, sunrise got my ass on the bed. My brother's calling, let's get together and try harmony. Sunday strolling, hot cup of Joe, eggs aside of ham. The waitress calling, knows my order like the back of her hand. Sunday morning,
days get so long, so I'll just close my eyes. Far away is where I'll be. So if you need to find me, I'll be gone on my own. I can't tell you why, it just feels like sometimes I feel so young. Sometimes I feel so old. But if I close my eyes, I feel you standing here with me, and I'll be gone on my own. I can't tell you why, it just feels like
Happy Friday!
What's shaking, gang?
How's everybody doing out there?
Fred's doing good. I guess he figured it out there. He's on there. Hey, Fred. Hey, Liz. How you doing, guys?
How's everybody doing this fine Friday? I'm a little perturbed that it's gotten so chilly. Rather annoyed.
Very comfortable in the studio tonight, I must say.
Yes, it is nice and comfy out here, but I would prefer it to be warm. I'm not a big fan of the cold, so I want my heat.
It's almost 80 in here. It's about 76. It's very comfortable.
Well, it was freezing in the house, so.
Got the doors open here, let the cool air blow on it.
Yes. So how's everybody doing this fine, beautiful day? If you guys need to talk about anything in particular, please. Please.
Liz's daughter got her driver's license today. Life has changed, as you know
Awesome. Yes, that is scary. There's probably nothing scarier than their first solo drive. So good luck. Hopefully, she'll do well on her solo, and you won't be a basket case too much, hopefully. But yeah, I know how scary that is. That was very scary when my son got his, especially since he didn't even want it. I had to make him get it. That was
I gave
pretty
him a crash
bad.
driving course in my
Yeah.
expedition. I said, floor it. We're in this bar. I go, now jam the brakes on. So I said, well, I go, jam them on. It jams them on. He goes, oh, now you know what it feels like to go into a skid. I think we're good. Let's get out of this parking lot. He's like, huh? Am I right?
And then he made him drive the whole parking lot backwards. That was weird. That had me scared. So,
I should have been a driving instructor.
I'm just
My
trying
method
to.
is
This is
flawless.
last week's. Okay.
flawless, I say.
Yes. So, what's everybody up to?
You're becoming very redundant.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure this all out. So, I'm still working on that whole learning curve.
We had a great week.
Yes, we did.
Lori's going on a demonstration tomorrow at the nation's capital.
Yes.
Going to D.C. and to support a cause for this organization actually is sponsoring it. Never Surrender Hope.
We're taking a
She wanted to know if I wanted to go. I don't need any pictures of me being taken at the Capitol.
oh, why you're going to run for
No, it's a dangerous place.
police?
Oh, he was in on it. On what?
Well, I'm not going to be taking on the damn Washington,
Always
D.C.
charged me with insurrection.
Yeah, you're such an ass.
Out in D.C. They're a bunch of wackos there. Everybody protesting everything.
So, yes, we will be going tomorrow to Washington, D.C. It's for the Trail of Truth. I am looking forward to it. We just want to raise awareness and
I have no idea what it's about. Why don't you tell us more what it's about?
okay, Trail of Truth to raise awareness for substance use related deaths, September 24th, Washington, D.C. There will be a memorial cemetery that opens at 11 a.m. And Never Surrender Hope Foundation, they had people come in and do tombstones that they will be placing with loved ones' photos and names. And
Pretty impactful.
yes, from 11 to 1, there'll be a healing opportunities. From 1 to 3, speakers and performers. And 3:30 will be a memorial march. So I'm looking forward to that, and not looking forward to the hour of getting up, but it will be all well worth it.
You're going to be on the bus by 6 a.m.
Yes, so I'll be
So
there.
I'll be dropping her off with my bunny slippers on, and I'll be coming back home and going back to bed. Probably.
Yes.
I have to go get my hair cut. I'm a week overdue. Look at me. I'm a mess. I look like a hippie. Look how long that stuff is. Only because I couldn't go last week because of my granddaughter's first day of dance ballet, our new ballet class. So I had to pile in with everybody, and then we were going to a walk.
Yep. No,
We were busy last Saturday, so I skipped a haircut rotation.
And I have to say the walk was beautiful. The weather was perfect.
It was nice.
And PROACT, because they could not do the walk in Philly because of the fear of COVID and the violence
and being shot.
and the violence,
For fear of being shot.
overwhelming violence in Philadelphia, they decided to hold off on doing such a large venue.
And I made a comment on another site. The Dad Val Regatta, which has been like 85 years in Philadelphia, tradition. It's the sculling boats and all down on the Schuylkill River. This is the last year. Next year it's going to be changed. I think it's next year or maybe this year.
Well, it's Mother's Day normally, so
So they're canceling that, moving that over to Camden, over to Jersey. It's safer over there.
Yeah, that's
They're claiming
scary.
other things. Oh, the river's got to be dredged. And I'm like, come on, be dredged. That boat's got about a 6-inch draft on them. Man. They go into the water.
Yeah.
Nobody's afraid to do anything in Philadelphia anymore. It's out of control.
Well, it is scary out there. It's very scary. So hopefully we'll figure.
Bad things happen in Philly.
Yes, always. There I am. I figured it out. Yay! So we have Liz, we have Fred, we have Larry. Hey, Larry. Glad that you figured out the whole.
I think Larry probably went over to Fred's house and got him online, straightened him out with him. I think Larry's got it down pat, man.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
I hope everybody's figuring it out. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know what to think.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out a little by little, but welcome everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful week, and I hope that you're all enjoying this cool weather, because I'm not at all. I did have my hoodie on. I do like my hoodies, but it's much too early, I feel, for wearing a hoodie, but it will lessen my air conditioning electric bill, so there's that.
Don't be flipping out oil heat bow on there, man. Well, never ends.
Fred said he met Larry in New Hope.
Did he give you some pointers?
But anyway, just having a lot of people really stressing about what to do and how to get out of really difficult relationships due to their spouse, boyfriend, that's suffering from substance use, that are actively using. And it's so hard to talk to them, number one, because
especially if they have no background or knowledge really of addiction, it really makes for a very uncomfortable situation for them.
yeah. And I feel bad because unfortunately I don't understand that part of it. I mean, I get it, and knowing what I know about recovery, I try very hard to throw my suggestions their way so that they can, take different paths, take different ways of dealing with it. Just like, a parent deals with their child. Now we're talking about people that have a relationship that they're responsible to help with mortgage or rent, the utilities,
Right, so
food.
it's not like you could just boot them to the curb,
Right.
get yourself straightened out, come back. I mean, they need that second income and stuff. It makes for a very unique
situation. It does, and that's a difficult and hard situation.
And now that our parent group, we rebranded to a family support group. We're getting a lot of spouses coming
Yes. And and I just want to be able to help them. And I do have to draw the line when it comes down to these people that are reaching out and crying for help because they're being battered or verbally abused. It's a fine line when you're dealing with this disease. I don't know about you, but cheating is a little difficult for me to swallow as well. But definitely,
That was a very poor analogy.
I'm sorry, but
Hey, Mike, could you rephrase that?
a lot of these people with this disease, I'm not in that situation, so I don't know how I would react to it. I always knew that somebody cheating on me would be like that would be like the done. No, I'm not going to deal with that. But I'm not in that situation, so I don't know. And I also know that somebody that is married or has been in a very long-term relationship that has somebody cheating on them, it's that doesn't mean you throw them out and then that love turns off. It just doesn't. Your heart's still in it, your head's just not. So you have to really take it into like the deepest part of your heart to decide whether your relationship is worth saving if they get the help that they need. And more power to you. I know a lot of people that did save their marriage because they knew it was a disease, and they worked on their relationship through therapy and their recovery process. So it's not for me to say, oh, he cheated on you or she cheated on you, go. It's your choice. It's your choice whether you want to work on that or not. Again, with me, that's like a hard limit for me. But like I said, I'm not in that situation, so I can't say what I would do today. He knows what I'm going to do if I found out he was cheating on me. So I don't know if he lives in fear from that. No. But I'm seeing a lot of these posts where they're being, physically hurt by their loved one during their active addiction. And I don't know. I just, that's a dangerous path to be on because they're not in their right mind. And, a lot of people are their children are watching this. And, I myself believe that I think it's easier for the spouse that is being, attacked to take the children out of that situation. That's showing the children that that's not the way you want to live your life with somebody that is abusive. And, that doesn't mean that they can't get the help that they need, that they can go to recovery and therapy and get the help that they need with that. But that would be a very long, hard road for me anyway. That's a tough thing. And, I don't want to say the wrong thing to anybody, but I mean, that's my thought process. That's, verbal abuse is just as bad. It mentally does, beat you down. You get beaten down all the time when you're constantly being told that, you're not worthy, that you're the cause of their, use or what have you. And most cases that's not, it's just them being angry because they want to see you get better. So they want to see you stay in that madness, stay in that chaos, so that they can continue their path of what they've grown used to with their addiction. So it's really important that, you keep working on yourself and getting yourself strong enough to be able to deal with that situation. So I hope that, if you're in that situation, that you do have an exit plan that will keep you and your family safe, because that is the number one thing, is to make sure that you are safe from, this disease that can turn a person from, the loving person they were when you met and then got married, or date it for a long period of time and turning into the monster that they become because of their active use. So, if anybody has any suggestions or
Does anybody have any
anything,
experiences like any kind of couples type treatment? You know, you might have seen like a therapist or something as a couple to try, educate the other spouse that's not suffering from addiction. I mean, how did that work out? I mean, we're just curious. I mean, what kind of advice do you give out to people there? You know, it's a slippery slope. Because we don't tell people what to do. We just make suggestions.
right?
And if it's a good fit for them, if it's something they might want to try, it's up to them. But we can't say it enough to them, though. Nobody's telling you what you should do. We're just saying, what worked for us didn't work for us and other people. But we don't really have any background in that part, as far as, one spouse and not the other spouse. And it's, we're just curious. Anybody got any input on that?
Yeah, because it's Stephanie is in the house, because that is something that is very hard to deal with, especially if it's a spouse, because of that financial support that you need.
Financial support, now emotional support, because I hear emotional support if this is the problem with your emotions. Like you can't go to your spouse for the emotional support because that's what's causing the turmoil. And when it comes to addiction, we all know you can't just go to your sister or go to your neighbor, because if they don't understand addiction, they're absolutely no help whatsoever, because they're going to say, throw him out, throw her out, or whatever.
And that's what they don't understand. Well, why don't you just leave them? Well, because first of all, most times there's no financial ability to do so.
And there's children involved, and they worry about changing up the whole family dynamic. Like a million things go through your head.
Yes. So it's so hard to figure out what to do. Now, I did see that I did take this course not too long ago, and they do say that you should plan an exit plan. A neighbor that you trust should know what's going on, and in case you have to run to them to get into a safe place.
I know I have. My neighbors all know. I'm knocking on the door in the middle of the night. Please let me in. She's going to kill me.
You're an ass. But to also have a bag packed for, a couple of days so that you are safe. You don't have to worry about, clothes or anything. Just
I would never suspect that, because my wife's got like 6 backpacks around the house.
I
One's
do.
filled with books, one's filled with that. I would never suspect a thing.
yes, I have several backpacks.
My granddaughter's got backpacks. I think my granddaughter's up to 2 backpacks. She's not
I
in
think
school
she's
yet.
got 4, and yeah,
I'm surrounded by backpacks.
yeah, and they're all over the place.
How many backpacks you have, son? What do you do? Oh. How can you get me a backpack? I feel like I'm left out.
I got you one, but I'm using it.
I would fill mine with like donuts and soft drinks and stuff. That'd be pretty handy.
I have my beach backpack. I have my overnight backpack. I have my book backpack.
Nobody cares about your backpack.
But that's important that you have a bag packed with a couple outfits, your unmentionables, and you have your medications that you can just grab
I don't think I have any unmentionables.
grab and go.
I had to get some of them too. Give me a pen. I need a
Or your
backpack,
underwear.
and I need some unmentionables.
But they say to have your medications just ready at the go. Like if you have blood pressure medicine, you just have to be able to grab it and put it in your bag and go. And have a place. The most important thing, if there is abuse, is to check into the women's shelters, the man, whatever shelter is out there.
How about cash?
They say to have cash, and
I think that's the most important. You didn't mention the
well,
cash
you
part.
do, but for the most part, if you're dealing with active addiction, it's far and few between that you're going to have some left, because that's usually the first thing that goes when.
You can't get very far without cash.
Right. So it's so important that whatever you do have in cash, you have something and some safe place to store that money and those clothes, that bag, that getaway bag.
Or someone that you could trust with it.
With it.
Like.
Right. And they do say to choose, if it's a family or a friend, choose somebody that they don't know that's where you're going to go, because they're going to go to the first place as your family, then your best friend, or so somebody outside of that chain, because they know that that's where you're going to go. But and I'm just sharing that only because I'm seeing it a lot on the pages that I follow, and it's very sad to see that this is where this disease has taken us. That so many people are, being faced with this reality, and hopefully. They can get through that and be safe. There's shelters that they can go to that can help protect you. Go to, any of your government facilities that may be able to advise you where these places are. Every state is different, I'm sure. Every town is different. So, but keeping yourself safe is number one. And remember, verbally can be just as difficult for somebody as the abuse, because you lose faith in yourself, you lose the strength that you had, and you're always second guessing yourself, and you start thinking that that's who you are. You are a loser. You cause all of this grief and trauma and drama. So, you have to be mindful that that's just as bad for your children to be watching and dealing with. So for your children, if you have children involved in this, you have to really be strong enough to show them that they don't want to live that life either. So that hopefully that chain doesn't continue as they get older and start with relationships and seeing that it's okay to be abused or verbally abused. So that's important. That's an important thing to show the children. Not saying that it won't happen to them, but I think you have a better chance showing your strength and getting out of that situation for your children. So that's all I got on that. And it's a real downer one. It is a real downer one, but it's reality, and it's whatever's going on, whatever they're putting in, everything has they're just like losing their minds. It's really sad.
It's just amazing to hear the stories. I mean, in our meetings and stuff, are like people have been putting up with this for years and years and years with their spouse. It's like they're all living on pins and needles and walking on eggshells. I mean, for like ever sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's just sad, because like one day you just sit back and realize you just wasted all like the best years of your life and missed out on so much, just trying to keep everything in balance and waiting for the second shoe to fall at any time.
Right.
Where disaster's going to strike. I mean, it could be an overdose, a heart attack. I mean, it puts a lot of stress on the body. Mm-hmm. Abuse does. And you wait for them to lose that job. I mean, they're like skating through all the time. They're getting chance after chance after chance. Man, that takes a toll on the other one that's not suffer from addiction. I mean, all that anguish and all that worriment for all them years.
Yep.
I mean, it's sad to hear the stories. You feel for them, and they're trapped. Mm-hmm. either nowhere to go, or they're just waiting until their kids grow up enough to make a move or something. I mean, like the only expression, nothing changes if nothing changes, you know. And sometimes you got to be the first one to make a move or make a suggestion and hope that it works out for the best. Because why would you want to live 25 years of your life like it just in peril?
Yeah, and another thing that I'm seeing on these as well, I got to get under here or something. Another thing
She's
that
adjusted. She tried to. You gotta see this bitch. She's like trying to see how she looks best with her spokesmodel pose before the cameras go. She's like,
I'm trying to hide this.
I was roaring over here. It's like,
I'm trying to hide my inner tube, but
it's all pretty well swimming.
yeah, I'll go and swimming after. But oh, I just lost my train of thought there. But
Oh, shiny thing.
I like shiny things. But it is important. It's important that you take care of yourself. And another thing, this is what I was I'm seeing a lot of this, and it just worries me. Like they're like, well, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. You have to leave, or I'm leaving. And they say, well, if you leave, I'm going to kill myself. I'm taking all these pills and drinking. And you have to realize that is more of a tool they use to keep you in line, keep you where they expect you to stay, and keep you in the chaos, and let them continue what they're doing. When in reality, you have to look at yourself and say, what is best for me? What can I live with? More than likely, and most times, it's just the lure to keep you where you are. And just say, I'm really sorry you feel that way, but I can't live like this anymore. And then call 911 and say, listen, they're threatening to kill themselves. Let them deal with it. And let them know that, I'm not going to stay because you are sick. You have an option to get well. You have an option to get better. And, I'm going to call the authorities, if you threaten to kill yourself like that. This is what we have to do to keep ourselves well. And remember that, call 911. That's the best thing you can do, and get yourself out of that situation. And, learn to live a happy life. And it's not going to happen overnight. So, get to therapy, get to support groups, get to understanding where it is you need to be in life to keep yourself strong and healthy. That's the most important, because it really can tear you down. It can beat the hell out of you if you're not careful. So, it's hard because I don't see people. So if you are here for the first time, just throw something in the chat if you are able to chat, so we know you're here, and we know.
And don't forget our call-in number. We do have a live call-in number, 267-737-8031. You'll see it on the screen up there under Bill W.
Yes. Feel free to give us a call. We do have a few things coming up in the area. So if you are in the Lower Bucks area, or you're rich and you can fly in. But on
drop us a visit.
October 9th, I believe it is, we'll be coming up the Back to Livingren Day, and that is on the Ben Salem campus on Humeville Road. There will be vendors There will be resource tables. There will be baskets. And if anybody would like to donate a basket, a service, a gift card, anything to add to a basket, please feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, I don't ask for money or anything, and this is going towards a good cause. This is going towards Livengren's scholarship funds.
I think Larry's going to be offering dance lessons.
I believe so.
He's going to be giving out a certificate for a set amount of dance lessons.
There you go.
The cha-cha, the rumba.
And that is on October 9th. I'm trying to find the thing, and I keep forgetting to back to Livengren Day. Here it is. It's an alumni barbecue, and it is from noon to 3 p.m. There will be music. There'll be a bounce house, raffles. There'll be a meeting, and if you would like to bring your vehicle and decorate your trunk, there's going to be a trunk or treat for the people in attendance. And fellowship. It's a great day. It was one of the first events that I attended at Livengren when my loved one went through, and great time. It was really a really good time. Also coming up in November, and I'm thinking it's November 17th, but I could be wrong, is the dance.
Harvest Moon Dance.
The Harvest Moon Dance. And that is a year ago that we started the Harvest Moon Dance, which is pretty cool. And we're all coming back together. It's still going to be at Georgine's. Same place, same bat station, same DJ, same menu, I believe. And it was
Same
just
bat station,
a
same bat
really,
channel.
really good time. We had so much fun, and this is now our fourth year doing this. So, why is this doing that?
Our fourth year, it's our fourth time.
Our fourth time. This is our fourth event that we did. We've done the Harvest Moon Dance, which was the first kickoff dance. Then we did the Valentine's Dance, and then we did the Christmas in July, which I hope we do something different than Christmas in July. It was a great time, and we had fun. It was a lot of fun, but I try to forget about Christmas until December. But please feel free to check those things out, because they are a great time and a lot of fun. So come out and join us.
We should have like a Hawaiian themed one
Yes, I would love a Hawaiian themed one.
with our
I like the
Hawaiian garb.
Yes, I would love Hawaiian garb, but we also did went to an event. Well, we did an event, and Pappy DJ'd that one too. But it was a 60s, 70s, and 80s themed dance. So everybody dressed, and then we had,
I've done two of them 60, 70, 80 themes.
but only one for me though.
Well, there was an organization you were heavily involved with.
Right, that was one.
And then your girlfriend's just a month or so ago.
Oh yeah, well yeah, she did a birthday party that was really cute. That was a really adorable one.
That was the
Yeah.
50s and 60s theme. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cute.
Yeah, and they all dress up, and you got an award, a reward, whatever, for the best dressed in whatever era it was. But it was a fun time, and we did raise a lot of money for the organizations, and that's what it's about. It's just coming together, and not just giving money, just getting something in return and having a lot of
People
fun.
are getting tapped out. We're giving out cash. Nobody has the cash anymore.
No.
Times are tough right now.
Yeah.
But we throw a really nice dance for a really reasonable cost. I think it's $35. And it's the food is fabulous. It's a total beautiful spread. It's not just like a beef and burrito, it's got like beef and potato salad. I mean, it's chicken parm, roast beef. All different. It's something a little different every time, and it's a nice spread. Of course, there's no alcohol, and that's part of why the price is so reasonable.
Right.
But you got unlimited sodas and coffees and on.
Yep.
Everybody has just as good a time.
And we did.
There's never any issues or any problems with people getting all tanked up and out of control. It's like 200 people, and it's like everybody's having a good time and everybody's civil. It's pretty,
Right.
It's pretty neat.
It is. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun, and that's what it's all
There's
about.
a lot of camaraderie going on, which is the whole recovery world is about camaraderie. Mm-hmm. And everybody's very friendly and everybody gets along very well, and we're all on the same page.
Yeah, and the dancing. It's a great time. It's a good time. But and I also wanted to bring this up too because we were talking about the kids and how it affects them as well. And there is a girl that I had met. She's an author. Her name is Fiona J. Purcell, and she wrote a book called "The Queen Who Saved Herself." And it's kind of like on the Harry Potter type theme, but it really helps the older children understand the illness of addiction. And I highly suggest it if you have somebody that is, struggling with how to let your loved one know what's going on.
That's what the cover of the book looks like.
Yeah. I was kind of trying to get her on the show so she can talk about it. And I know she's just wrote another book, or she's in the process of writing another book. That's really cool. So,
Yeah, the queen died and the prince became king. Oh, never mind.
that's real life.
That's something totally different. I get all confused. All this king and queen stuff.
All the king and queen stuff. But it's a great way to sit down and read and help your loved ones understand what's going on. And I just wanted to also remind everybody, on Wednesday nights, Live and Grin has their family support group meeting, and it's been picking up. We've been getting new people all the time, and that is a really good group because it is a crosstalk type of meeting, support meeting, where you can actually come with your stresses and talk about them, where in your fellowships it's all about you, which this is about you, and it does teach you how to stay strong while our loved ones are dealing with their active use or in their treatment process or in recovery. It just helps keep us strong, and just to learn different tools on what we can do and what we shouldn't do, and we just offer suggestions. It's up to you to take what you get from the meeting and try it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then there's other suggestions that are offered, other things that they have been through. So I highly suggest that is also on Live and Grin's property. It is in it's in the Chapman building, which is the first building to the left as you come into the Ben Salem facility. But if you know anybody that is struggling with a loved one, let them know there's support out there. And if you don't want to go there, you want to try Al-Anon, you want to try Nar-Anon, go onto their web pages and find out where they are, because the biggest help you're going to get is talking with people that understand what you're going through.
We had a really good turnout last week too.
Yeah, we had 14. And that was a big one.
We used to have 40, but COVID hit and
Yes.
The numbers went down, now they're coming back, and that's a good sign. Mm-hmm. You know, the people are coming out trying to get help. I mean, we know they're out there, but we just got to get them to come out.
Yeah. And they are out there, and I know they're struggling. I know they're suffering, and some people just, you know,
The virtual thing just isn't for some people. I don't think
Right.
it's for most people.
no.
But when you didn't have a choice, I mean, it's better than nothing. Mm-hmm. It's time to get out there, people. Get out to them live meetings.
Yeah. And it is. I think it helps a lot more when it is a live meeting. Although it is nice when you're trying to get dinner on the table or you're trying to get something done in the house where you can actually do that while you're in the meeting. But you know, if you're afraid that your neighbor's going to be there, they already know. They already know you're going through this, and what better support can you have than somebody else that's going through it and that is close to you, that you can share your experiences and gain your strength from what they've done and didn't work, or, you know, done and did work. So, you know, get out there and do that. You know, that's where you want to be. You want to be with people that are going through the same thing. And
Everybody knows your name.
And I'm just going to throw this out there because Dawn Cohen, who was the facilitator when we first started this journey in our recovery of family,
Who?
of being family, you know.
I mean, Dana?
Yeah.
Let's call her Dawn.
Oh, Dana Cohen.
Dawn Cohen.
Dana Cohen. But she has her own practice now. There's 5 in the practice, I believe, and it's called Insight Psychological Services. And I bring that up because it's a family disease, and sometimes doing the meetings and such, you know, great tools, great support, but sometimes you just need that extra little something. And there's no better place to go than, you know, somebody that is knowledgeable in the substance use and bringing families together and helping people, you know, get to where they need to be. That's the most important thing, is to get your head where it needs to be, because, you know, your heart's always in it and it's always in the way. And that's a very scary thing, because your heart can lead your head into, you know, not great places. So that's, you know, important to remember that, you know, make sure your heart isn't the one taking control, that your head is the one that's making, you know, the better choices. Hence why, you know, a surgeon can't work on their loved ones, because they make bad choices because they think they know better because it's their loved one, you know, and, you know, their heart just gets in the way of that. So always remember that, to really think it through, go, you know, beyond the love part and the logical part.
You think proctologists ever work on themselves? How would they do that? That would be very, very awkward.
That would be very awkward and sickening.
I mean, on themselves, not on loved ones, like mirrors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like self-medicating and.
Yes. And if
I'm a truck driver. Just weird things go through my head like that.
okay, here's the Harvest Moon. It is on Saturday, November 19th from 7 to 11. I knew I would find it in here. And again, it's food, raffles, DJ, dancing.
Put it up there.
It's a great day. We did get the tickets in, so anybody that wants a ticket, please hit me up and I can get you a ticket. So these are all on my page.
Get 'em while
So
they're hot.
check the page out and you will find that in there as well. And if anybody out there has any events that they are aware of that are coming up, please bring it to my attention so I can share it, so people can get out there and be part of it and get some information. Because with everything opening up, we're finally getting out there and resources are coming together, and we're finding the help that we need, whether it be a recovery house, whether it be a treatment center, whether it be anything to do with recovery. So please let me know, hit me up so I can share it with anybody. And if you have any clubs out there, like Fred, he belongs to a club that
Larry's Dance Emporium out of Prizesburg. I mean, the big supporter of this show.
Dancing
Thanks, Larry.
with the oldies with Larry. He's got his what do they call that?
Well, he was on that show, Dancing with the Alcoholics, and he was a star. He went on to the finals.
Yeah, I think he does much better today.
Yes, his steps are much more accurate.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's a great time to get together. But if you have anything for meetings or anything like that, I would love to share them. And of course, I'll check into them, make sure that they're legit and they're good.
The footprint stays the same. On the floor to learn how to dance.
Yes,
They invented them.
we have a caller.
Hello, caller.
Hello, caller.
Hello, this is Ronaldo's dance studio. We're having a special this week. We teach anything from tap to ballet, and our special is you get a free leotard. One size fits all. So, some aren't going to look as good as others, but that's not my problem. That's yours. Go to diet, okay? All right.
Freely. You got my attention.
Yes, we're joining.
The reason I call, I got a couple things. You were talking about families and breaking up and people suffering. Well, I'm going to talk about my situation. I got pretty much thrown out of my house, but it was justified. I was drinking too much, and you talk about the children, and it was affecting them too. They were in their teenage years, and my wife couldn't take it anymore. It was like the second time around, and it was never any kind of like physical abuse, not even verbal or mental abuse. It's just like I wouldn't listen as much as, she would beg or she would scream or she would, you pick any kind of situation, any kind of tone of voice. It was all sincere, but I was nodding my head yes and keep on drinking. So, when I lost my job, out the door I went. And in hindsight, it was good too because, like you said, you're talking about dealing with children. I mean, what kind of effect that would have on them. And the situation was tense anyway from the first time I got when I had my first DUI. And my kids, really resented it. And, they didn't trust me. That, I was nobody to look up to. I wasn't the model parent. I was like the model embarrassment. And, eventually, I had to straighten myself out before anything got better. Mm-hmm. I mean, it ruined my marriage, but, that's something I did. I don't put the blame on anybody but me. It wasn't like this situation, or she made me do this, or that happened. And, I carry that burden with me now. And, but I've talked about it before. My kids are back in my life. Everything's cool as far as that goes. Mm-hmm. But, I had, in that situation, I don't know how everybody else's situation is, but I had to put the blame on me. Nobody else but me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
now, go ahead.
You just weren't ready to hear it. You weren't ready to accept it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I fooled everybody, I fooled nobody. You know, I thought I could function, and, you know, when I look back on it now, I couldn't function. You know, I could barely make it to work, have a few drinks on the way home, come home half-assed, you know, half shot in the ass, and it would show. Even if I have one on the way home, it would show in my eyes, in my slurring of my voice, and, you know, I thought, oh, but one, I get away with that. No, I didn't. And I just, you know, ruined the whole family. But, you know, it's hard to learn, but it's a lesson I had to learn the hard way, and I pretty much learned it now.
Yes. And you're doing great. I mean, you have your family back, you have your children in your life, you've been to their weddings.
Made it a mission to help others, you know, which you do all the time. It's
Yeah.
you're
Yeah, well, I try. Yeah, you know, I see, you know, I see what happened to me, and I like to help others, you know, and reach out and just tell them my story, because I don't know anybody else's story. I don't make up stuff.
Right.
This is the way. Well, this is what happened to me, and you know, that's all I know was me. And you know, if they could gain any knowledge or get any help from what my story was, all the better.
Yes.
really. I mean, you're brutally honest all the time about, you know, what you've done and what you've been through, Larry. And you know, it's very commendable. It really is. I mean, because it's a real eye opener, I think, for a lot of people when they witness your honesty and your truthfulness and all. And it's time for them to get honest with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I thank my sponsor for that, because he was brutally honest with me. He pulled no punches, and he wasn't a screamer or yeller, just as a matter of fact person. And, you know, he would just look, you know, whatever subject was, whatever I was going through, it was like, well, Larry, blah, 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 this. No highs, no lows, just straight, like I call it, like a Mr. Spock type of thing, you know. And that's the way I do it now, too. That's the way I went through my recovery, and still going through my recovery. No highs, no lows. You know, it's nice to get a compliment at the beginning. Yeah, oh, you're doing great and all. I blew that away. Just like when I went to meetings, people, you know, if I would share, some people would come up, all these so-called experts, and say, well, it's nice you said this, but maybe you should have emphasized on this. You know, the critics and the praisers, I just like threw out the window.
Right.
I said, no, I don't want to hear this crap. You know, I have myself to do, and I have, you know, my recovery to go through. I'm not going to do it my way. I'm not letting anything on the outside, other than my sponsor, and you know, people I think have some knowledge, you know, some useful knowledge I could use to help me out. And but you know, no happy, you know, it wasn't a happy thing or punch of walls thing. It was just like you said, brutally honest thing. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And the other, go ahead.
I'm just glad to
Keep
see.
trying to get another point out.
I'm just glad to see that you have your family back.
Yeah, yeah, and we, like I said, I told you, you know, I had trouble with the vacation and get my money back. Well, I got my money back, and we're rebooking, and this summer we're going to go away finally.
Oh, that's
And if
awesome.
one gets sick, we're going to leave him home, and the two of us are going to go.
Well,
Yeah.
Laura's got a
I'll go-
backpack packed, so I mean, in a pinch, I'll give her some cash and send her off.
Yeah, so I gave my son in the morning, and we're going to put him in a cement blockhouse for a
you
month, and then, you know, slide the food under the door, and, you know,
Keep them well.
have a no-seat toilet in the corner like they do in the prison.
Yes.
You know?
I'm so
Give,
glad.
you know, no, not even two-ply toilet paper. It's going to be newspaper.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
No
Yes.
contact with the outside
so he's
world.
been warned.
Very
Yeah.
good. I'm so glad that you did that and you got that all squared away and you can go ahead and rebook and do that family
Yeah.
thing. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that would have been a drinking situation 5+ years ago.
Right.
I'd have been so pissed off and mad,
Yeah.
and like the drinking would solve nothing. But
That's
Yeah.
out.
you know, that was then. This is now.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I want to talk about, though, is what I heard on the news. It kind of, you know, has nothing to do with alcohol. It mostly has to do with the fentanyl. And I saw it on the local news and the national news. It was just pretty shocking to hear the same story on the different things. It's about the rainbow fentanyl that the drug pushers are trying to push on the kids now, teenagers. and even, younger than that. It looked like rainbow candy, like little round pills.
Right.
And they're talking, and one person in California, she was 14 years old. She thought she was buying some Percocets, and it wound up being that she OD'd and died.
Yeah.
And they have it in like the chalk you would use to put, right on the sidewalk.
Right.
They even have it in that form. I was like shocked. I never even heard of anything like that, let alone this rainbow stuff. And they showed, on television, like, wow, this thing does look like candy. Nice shiny rainbow colors. You would think, without looking, you put your hand right in and pop them right down, and you wouldn't even know if they were drugs or candy.
Right.
Oh, even the seniors aren't self. That geritoltanol. You got to be very careful. Mark,
Geritol.
all their guys like
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, you don't realize how many of our elderly are addicted, because they are actually, in nursing homes or whatever, and they're being medicated with this because of their pain. They have all of this, pain from arthritis, and I feel their pain because as you get older, you start aching, and especially if they're at home and they're not being monitored, and they're
Yeah.
taking these pills and becoming addicted themselves, and they don't realize they're addicted because they're in pain, so they're not feeling it. So we have to be cautious, especially with our elderlies.
It's mismanagement, I think. I think it's like, shut them up, give them another pill. Shut them up, give them another
Right.
pill.
Right.
Because let's face it, my father was in a home, and when they start losing it mentally, it's a shame. I mean, and some people, it's just can never be quiet. When I go to visit, you usually see the same people blabbing on and on and on about total nonsense, but they don't even know what they're talking about. And it's a shame. And the only way the staff, what they do is like, they don't want to hear it. Let the guy spiel for an hour. He's going to be tired and go to sleep. Nope, pop him with a pill. Bang,
Yeah.
give him the medication, give him the needle. It was absolute insanity,
Right. It is. It's sad.
We spent a couple of years in the nursing home with Lori's
5.
grandmother. I mean, quite a few. I mean, she broke her hip going food shopping one day and never came home. I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
She's and then she started regressing more and more mentally, and we've seen a lot of people over the years in there. I mean, getting all loud and like you said, and they wheel them away, and I see it. They're sleeping out in the
Yeah.
hallway.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Hit him in the head with a mallet. I mean, my goodness. But yeah.
All right. I'm going to go. Maybe somebody else will want to call. And another thing, you're talking about the Geritol and all. Just stay away from those rainbow-colored suppositories, okay? Okay.
Hey,
Have a good night.
Headshot the New Hope.
Do they come in honey?
Fred probably fell off his sofa.
Hey, Eric, welcome.
Eric's in the house.
Yes, and Denise, I'm so glad that you found us. Yes, we did move over to YouTube, and I hope that you come back often. It's about time, Eric. My brother was addicted to tramadol. His kick damn near took him out. Yep, tramadol is another one. And the saddest part is, we have a caller.
Could be Mr. Shakopopoulos.
No, I know who it is. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
We're calling from California, and I thought I'd do it tonight by turning my volume down so that I wouldn't get any feedback.
Awesome.
To let you know that I think you guys are doing a great job. You look great on the YouTube.
Oh,
Much
yeah.
easier to watch on the YouTube. And we're just finishing dinner with Mom, so we thought we'd give you guys a holler
Awesome.
and let you know how awesome you're doing.
Oh, well, thank
And
you.
it looks
Thank
like
you.
Pappy needs a nap because he's worked too hard today, it looks like.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. I just look big. I'm Big Red.
So no, on a serious note, you guys are really doing a great job, really.
Awesome,
And it's
thank
really
you.
awesome to have you on YouTube.
Thank you.
And for
I
those
thought
of
I
you
could-
listening, that's my lovely, one of my lovely sister-in-laws
Yes, you have
out
two
there
of
all the
them.
way from the other side of the globe, of the United States, not the globe, but from downtown California.
Yes.
Land of
downtown,
forest
but-
fires.
Silicon Valley.
Well, I just thought I'd give you a holler. You were talking about our elderly that are, addicts and stuff, so I thought I'd give you a holler. Show your support.
Well, out there, I rub some ointment on my favorite mother-in-law, some liniment, and give Bill our regards.
God help me.
All right, I'll let you guys go so you can get back to your show on the serious
Thank you.
note.
This is a very serious
We
show,
love
by the
you.
way.
I know it
We're
is.
very
I know it
serious
is.
here.
Today
I
was
know.
it's a bit serious. All right. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
And Denise, I love that you're here and
It
you
was-
found us again. Apparently they're having a problem hanging up, but they got it. But yeah, this is where we're going to be for until something goes wrong here, and then we'll figure out something else.
So we burn another bridge with another format.
Yes, I'd like that we have our music back. I was really sad that we had
We
lost
got a
our
lot more freedom on YouTube here.
Yeah.
They're terrible on Facebook. I mean, they're like communist China when it comes to like
Yes.
trying to do a show or anything. They got more rules or regulations that change by the week, and the threats and
Yeah.
then the bribes. They start saying, you think for $10 you can get out to like 20% more people. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is a zero profit show.
Yes.
So no.
Oh, low budget here.
Yes, and Eric touches on his brother who was on the tramadol. And that is something that I was put on when in the beginning of the fibromyalgia stage, and I did not like actually anything like that. Any narcotic does not sit well with me, so I just don't.
And with old people, I know with like my grandmother, I think we brought that up on a show before. I mean, they don't realize you have to take certain drugs like that continuously to keep it, at a level amount of it in your system. You can't just take it when you feel like it. Like my grandma had this little fancy little pill thing there with her happy pills in it, or whatever the hell she called them. Whenever she would get stressed, she'd go, Grandma, what are you doing? Like, oh, yeah, I was getting a little anxious. Like, yeah. So we had to find out what they were and find out that you're not supposed to be just taking
Yeah.
them willy-nilly like this, or a couple
Yeah.
at a time. And you're supposed to take like one a day or whatever.
One a day. It was her blood pressure medicine, and like, oh, these are my nerve pills. No, they're your blood pressure medicine.
Oh my God. It's like-
Your blood pressure. That's not how you take it. Once a day, and you're good.
And they don't realize that. They don't remember.
No.
You know, and people aren't watching over their medications at all.
Right.
They can easily, develop a dependency on some of the stuff, like without a doubt.
Yeah, and going back to Eric's with the tramadol, the saddest part with that when we were getting into the couldn't doctor shop anymore because everything was on the computers and things were getting really serious about not being able to get your prescription drugs anymore. People didn't want to turn to the street. They were like, no, that means that I'm an addict. Like, that means that I'm scum. That means that I'm a loser. That means, all of that stigma that goes with that. And the saddest part where they were breaking their dog's legs, they were breaking their cat's legs, just so that the vet would give them pain meds, and they were taking the pain meds.
Well, you're really becoming a Debbie Downer tonight on this show. You know what you feel right now? What? Oh, my God.
But
Fred
that's
fall off the sofa again.
yeah. But that was literally happening.
Yeah, we did hear cases of it. I know how
Yes.
rampant it was, but
It
people
will-
were desperate and doing desperate things such as like that. I mean, sad enough.
but I think that
Stealing family members' medication,
Yes.
the elderly's medication, of course.
yes. Oh yeah, and they were doing it in the nursing homes, like not the nursing home, but where they were in assisted living. So they had their medications in their room with them and everything. So, you know, and you don't understand that, like when you have somebody come into your house to do some work. You back in the day, you didn't think about it. You put your medicine where? In the medicine cabinet. Well, then you go to get your medicine and it's not there. And you're like, well, where did it go? I must have thrown it out. No, it was the carpenter that came in to do some work in your house. Like, that's addiction. That's people can function being addicted to anything. And, you know, that's how it happens. It's at their disposal. And we have to be mindful of that today. You know, we didn't think twice about it back in the day, but now we have to think about these things. We have to think, like, where are we putting them? Is there easy access? Like, this is really bad times. And if it is something that you're on because you have terminal cancer or, you know, major surgery and you need this just to get by until the treatment's over and you're feeling better or what have you, you know, like that, it can be taken, especially if you have people coming into your house doing things around your house. So don't make it accessible for them, you know, hide it. That's my best advice anyway. That's my suggestion. But
Now you got Eric all traumatized over the dog thing.
but it's true. Like this is addiction. This is what substance use disorder is. You know, desperate people finding desperate means to get what they need, and I hope that they found some way to stop that as well. And I haven't heard much about that, especially since fentanyl hit the market. So, you know, maybe they're finding other ways. I don't know. But that was very upsetting, and it was very sad to see that they would go to that extent just to get high. And but that's...
They were stealing their cat's catnip and stuff. I mean, like, they were
Yeah.
for the cat.
Yeah. No, that's so it's just, you have to be mindful and you have to be careful of you know, where you're putting your medications and who has access to them. And then if you are in recovery and you've had a major surgery that you have no choice but to take something for that limited time, it's always best that that medication is given to somebody that can give it to you. Don't have access to it. Have somebody help you with that. That's important too.
Anybody else ever give catnip to their cats and just sit back and marvel at them? Their behavior. I used to do it to my mother's cats. My mother had, I don't know, like 4 cats. I go and I pour a big pile of catnip out. Them cats would just go to town and be like chilled to the max, fall off the things, fall off the sofa, and like, hey man, I fell. Hey, I'll get up here again, fall again. Oh my gosh, it was very entertaining.
And Eric has they Big Pharma push the Ultram just like Oxy, but supposedly non-addictive. Well, let me just tell you, I have a story of that stuff. My first kidney stone, my uncle had been very ill and was in really bad shape, and like last rites, the whole kit and caboodle. So we had gone to say our last goodbyes, and we had my son with us, and we were sitting there talking to him and, you know, saying our goodbyes. And I think it was like the next day or maybe a couple days later, I ended up with,
I'm not updating them like that.
I ended up going to the hospital, and they gave me that Ultram for the kidney stones. So I had taken them, and my aunt had picked my son up from school, and I called her and I said, listen, I have to take another one of these pills, and don't let Richard hear at the house because I'm going to be comatose. Like, it knocked me out.
But when she passed it, she broke the bathroom window.
But literally, it was terrible. It was really terrible. And I did not want him to see me like that, because we just saw my uncle like that. So I just didn't want that for him. So, yes, they're very bad. And that's how I react to all narcotics. So I know if that affects me that way, I know that somebody that struggles with addiction, it's giving them a whole different euphoria. That is, that's definitely something that you have to be mindful of, because how it reacts with me is totally different from how it reacts to my son. So, I pass out and then I throw up for days. Like, it's horrible. I can't stand it. And I know that somebody that does suffer from that has a whole different euphoria of it. So I wouldn't want anybody to get caught up in that. So that's just my spin on it. So what else? Anybody got anything coming up that could be helpful to somebody out there? And if so, let us know. And if you're new here, I do want to ask, if you are new here, to make sure that you do subscribe to the page, channel, whatever, I don't know. I think it's called a channel in YouTube. Subscribe, share, and like, so that we can get more followers. You never know who, pops in for a minute to check it out, and we might be able to help somebody that was struggling and didn't even realize it. So I've already shared this a few times, but when we first started this, we only had a couple people, and it was our old After Dark group, and they would come in, and I was like, well, we're not really doing anything for anybody. We're just sitting chatting. So, I don't know if I'm going to do this anymore. And it just so happened to me that night, I got a text from the somebody that I didn't know, that had popped in and found it, and said that it saved their lives, that they were ready to relapse and ended up going to a meeting instead. And they thanked us for being there for them. So that's why I'm here. That's why
Sometimes that all it takes is just, to reach out to someone, and it just, in just a little benign conversation, for lack of
Yep.
a better term. I mean, it's all you need, that little bit of camaraderie, and it just perks you up, gives you that little bit of hope.
Yeah.
And brings you out of your doldrum there, or whatever you want to call it, your state of weakness.
Yes. And this is, I think, show 82. So,
That's what I was saying. If you see your friends acting a little off, don't be afraid to say, hey, is everything okay with you? What's the dealio? What's going on? Mm-hmm. You good?
Yeah. And that's the important
sometimes
thing.
That's all you need. Someone cares and somebody's worried about you. Mm-hmm. You might snap them right out of that feeling of hopelessness,
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You never know who you can help. You never know if just saying something, can pull somebody out of, that stinking thinking. That's important. We are sharing your flyers in outpatient. Well, thank you, Denise. That's awesome. Hopefully, we get people there and get them on the show and hopefully help them. Breaking an animal for drugs. Us addicts do some sick shit. Yes, I don't know why we're not seeing him here, but he's over there. I'm seeing him every now and again. I don't know. Eric's always messing with me, so that's probably what it is. But you do. I mean, you.
I heard Eric was Goose and Elephants trying to make them fall over so he could get carfentanil.
But no, that, I mean, you do. It's a sickness, and you will do whatever it takes to get your drug. And, you know, if only they would fight that hard to get their recovery. You know, that's what it takes. It takes the fight of your life to, you know, make it in this world and do the right thing for yourself. And that is the most important thing, that you are doing something right for yourself, because it's, you know, it's an ugly disease. It takes you to ugly places, and it has you doing ugly things. And, you know, that's what, you know, the fellowships are for, to help you to, you know, get past those things and understand that there is a better life out there. And yes, they do share some ugly things out there. So, you know, that's the most important thing, that you know, learn how to do that. Just, you know, talk it out and get it out of your head. You don't want it staying in your head. That's for sure, because that's when the stinking thinking comes, when you keep sitting there and you just keep, you know, letting it eat at you. But, you know, that's what the fellowships are for. That's what, you know, I'm a big cheerleader of the whole journaling. That's important. Like, if you're not doing,
Should I get your pom-poms?
yeah. But that's important. So just keep it up and keep it going. That's where it's at. Is sorry, I got a message. So
Let's see. Oh, Eric says he used to put butter on the elephant's feet to make them slip and get sprains. Okay, that's good to know, Eric. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm a little silly tonight.
yes, I'm tired too. I didn't sleep good last night. So
Didn't sleep at all last night.
yeah, everything they do to get their fix, they don't care who they walk over, who they hurt along the way, you know, because they're not in their right mind. They don't know what they're doing. And, you know, it's when, you know, they get that clarity and are shown that there's another path that they can learn, if they're ready for it. If they're not ready for it, it's really difficult for them to, you know, follow that path too as well. So we have 10 minutes left. So if anybody has anything they want to talk about or ask us, you can give us a call at 267-737-8031. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share. And hopefully we'll get somebody in that really needs to hear something from ourselves, something in the comments that we keep pulling up here. And, you know, just let people see that there's a safe place, that you're not judged, and you can come and, you know, share, because that's what we're here for.
Speaking of judged, I wonder if Fred wears his chaps when he goes up to New Hope.
I think he does.
Be judged. See, I told up pie plates and just a thought, Fred.
Oh, a good thing you retracted that, Eric, because I had no idea what you meant. But yeah, I'm looking forward to. I do like the fall. I really do like the fall. I love Halloween. That is like my favorite holiday is Halloween.
I like Thanksgiving.
Oh, I love Thanksgiving too. Can't you
That's
tell?
my favorite holiday.
But I do like to get the Halloween spirit.
I just like making them Thanksgiving sandwiches for like 3 weeks afterwards, you know.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And it was fun. I didn't mention we had Jackson's birthday party with all of her friends on Sunday, and she just had a blast.
That went well.
She had so much fun. She dressed up as Cinderella, and we did a little photo shoot with her. She just had a blast. She had so much fun with her friends. Best people that I have ever met, and how hard it is for them to get a job, and they are the stronger than most people that I know. Good night, love. Thank you both. Thank you for coming in, Denise. And it is true. It's
All my friends I made in recovery, I've said it often on the show, are the most humblest people I know.
They are.
They're genuine. Mm-hmm. They're humble. I mean, they're not trying to sell you a bill of goods or anything like, you know, bullshit you're in. They're just genuinely nice and humble and very helpful.
Yes.
And just willing to help you in any way they can, I mean.
And that's the nicest thing is they're always there for you. And it doesn't matter if they're having a bad day or not. They're still willing to be there for you and help you through that.
So when you go to an AA meeting and drop your coffee, 20 people try to help you clean it up. It's great.
Do you feel
This
the
chair kills me.
opiate crisis with fentanyl and all will change the stigma of addiction? You know, I'm seeing a lot of change. I am seeing the change, but that's because there's just so many families affected by
Right.
it.
There's so many people turning up in families. They have no choice but to recognize it for a different means now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But on the same token, some people are just so stigmatized against any kind of, you know, abuse. I mean, I see it on the neighborhood sites I always read, you know, oh, there's such and such, you know, the bum, you know, outside that CVS over there now, then the sarcastic comments, oh, them damn junkies, you know, like, you don't know nothing about that guy, what his story is. I mean,
Right.
just to make that sort of, you know, assumption like that. But then I can't get mad because I
was
used to
that
be
person.
like that.
I was that person.
Before I educated myself in addiction, so I'd be a hypocrite to really get upset with them. So I don't say oh,
No.
let everybody vent.
And on the other end of it too, there's a lot of people that are in recovery that did struggle that feel no, it's a choice. And yeah, it is a choice in the beginning. Even when it comes to your doctor, you're in pain, you're crying out for help. Your doctor gives you a prescription, you take it. You don't
Fred, yes.
you don't care what it is or anything. You take it because you just want to be out of that pain. You don't sit there and reference it and pull out that thing that you can't even read because it's so little words. You just take it because the doctor said, take this and you'll feel better. So who knows best but your doctor. You don't sit there and read into it and, oh, I took it, I feel better. And, you know, it starts out, yes, a choice. You chose to take that pill without researching it. But the disease chooses you because not everybody is affected the way that other people are. So, you know, yes, it starts out as a choice, whether you chose
You're welcome, Fred. Always.
You're welcome, Fred. Whether you chose to experiment whether you chose to take the pill that the doctor gave you, yes, it starts out as a choice, but it doesn't end up to be a choice for most people. Most people, you know, what is it, 85% that have been given an opiate have become addicted to the opiate.
Well, it's not just opiates. I mean, that was told to me about heroin originally. Where the first time you try heroin, you stand a 75% chance of addiction. Or is it 50%?
50%.
50% the first time. You stand a 50% chance of addiction. Should you decide to try heroin for a second time, that could go up to a 75% chance of developing a dependency on heroin. There's no other drug like that, man.
Right.
It's such a gamble.
Right.
You know, and now with everything, you know, being adulterated with fentanyl and all, fentanyl's so much more powerful.
Oh my God,
Who knows
fentanyl
what
is
it drives the
scary.
percentages up to?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why
Right.
they're putting the shit in everything now. I mean, from synthetic marijuana, like I said a bunch of times, it's in the cocaine, it's in the meth, because they want you to become addicted to their product. So you're going to come and buy whatever your drug of choice is from that person, because now they got you hooked on a Fetty, and you don't know why, but you need that guy's product, man. It's they're I hate to say they're businessmen. That's their angle. I mean, for lack of a better term, and that's what's going to get you buying their product.
Yes.
It's disgusting.
And Denise says ketamine and PCP are coming in now. More than opiates and alcohol is staying even, but with the most older people.
Yeah,
And
well, it's because people think they're safer with it, you know,
Right.
And they're not, because everything's adulterated now. You think they don't know that? You think somebody different is selling that? They're all selling the same stuff, and it's all becoming adulterated. And the older people might think, well, it'll be safer if I go with this. They are adulterating everything that comes down the pike. I mean, my God, in some of them neighborhoods, I'd be afraid to go get a damn sandwich. They'll probably put it in their freaking hoagies. So you buy their hoagies, you know what I mean? Not to make light of it, but I mean, it's that out of control. It's unbelievable.
I thought it was
But,
an animal. I'm like, what is that noise?
Our engineer's
I'm-
back.
I was thinking that we had a raccoon coming in here or something.
God, that's all I need.
But it was just our
If you want to see
director.
all the animals that go by your house, buy a Ring camera and take a look what comes through your yard at night. You'd be amazed.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, a lot more than I ever anticipated. That's like Dr. Doolittle out here. Man. It's like, it's craziness.
And to tell you the truth, you know, a lot of people had once the fentanyl had switched over to meth because there wasn't any fentanyl in it, and that's when they started putting the fentanyl in that. And now they're doing the nights. So now they're doing the tranquilizer, the horse tranquilizer, which that's scary in itself. Actually eating away at your skin, and that's I'll tell you, it's just crazy out there. So, you know, abstinence is the best because, you know, it keeps you alive. So anyway, everybody, I will be back next Friday. Fingers crossed we will have John T as a guest. He is celebrating, well, he just celebrated 6 years in his sobriety, and I asked him if he would like to come back onto the show. He and I started this venture together, and, you know, life took him in a different direction. He's doing amazing in his recovery, and started working on Friday nights. So he's not with us anymore on Friday nights, but we're hoping to get him next week. October 28th, we have coming up Barb. She is hysterical, so she will be sharing her story. And I'm
It's
hoping.
a serious show, you know.
Yes, John is awesome. And we will be getting him into the studio, I hope, Friday. But until then,
And my old buddy.
I'm trying to get a calendar together to get guests coming on to discuss just different avenues of recovery and, you know, whatever. So you don't have to listen to me struggle.
So we had to get like a linoleum piece in the studio for when Larry comes to, so we can hear his tap shoes. Because he was a little depressed the other night. He broke a string on them, a lace. But I think a little piece of linoleum.
Yeah. So, guys, with that being said, it is 10:31 now. And I'll check my page for things that are coming up. Please send me information of anything that you know coming up. Make sure you are subscribing, liking, and sharing. And we will see you here next week. Same bat time, different bat day.
Bye, everybody. Remember, recovery works if you work it.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Love you.
These are the lessons that we learn from the old heads. And I never put it down. Never put it down, my friend. Never put it down. Never put it down, my friend. But the best never rest. Never put it down, my friend. Never put it down. Never put it down, my friend. I hold a mic tight grip, staff a raw desert style. Camo suit, Air Force, Levi's flash a smile. 20 years plus vet status versatile. I never put it down cause I raise it like a child. Protect the mic at all costs while I ride the beat. The black asphalt shows the cracks in the street. The sound pound crazy down the Bronx River Parkway. Driving down to Jason's famous bumping barcades. Juju on the beat, yeah we do it like the beat nuts. Never rhyme for free but I do it for some peanuts. Peter Pan, Natural, Rosario Dawson. Lexia, no fear, do it like a boss son. Showcase the talent, hit the 3 or the slam dunk. Culture on the way, never sell it in a storefront. Preserve you must protect, that's the model that I live by. Saints in my pocket, walk the arm on my wayside. Play truck, jewels weigh heavy on the neck of the offensive lineman. 55 Folex. Just the sound system, DJ sick on the flex. And I never put it down, cause the best never rests. Okay. Never put it down.